Hello and welcome to my world of crochet. My name is Tina and today I'm here with you for another yarn talk video. And as you can see, I finished up a bucket hat and also I finished the blocking of the PuErhTea Shawl, and I have to say it turned out absolutely gorgeous after blocking. More photos on that to come later in this video. Definitely it turned out super gorgeous. I'm not sure if these are my colors. This bucket hat turned out a little bit more ruffly on the edges than I had originally intended. But yeah, I know for the next time that I may consider a bit fewer decreases around for that last couple of rows. But further than that, it was a nice, swift and easy make. I do like how the colors are together, this wine and dark purple, but I don't feel that it's me as a person in the sense of, if that makes any good sense. I started with a red, and then we just basically slowly increased, changing colors every row, and I finished it up with a row of single crochets. So that is basically the hat. Flat laying it would be like a bit like this. Could I have done an extra row? Maybe before expanding. And could I have increased a bit less on the brim? That is the big question. And as you can see, it's a little bit big for my mannequin head here, but it fits me pretty okay. But as said, it is a little bit ruffled around, but it's not too bad. I'm not unsatisfied with it. Definitely not. So the look is nice. It's just probably not my colors going with my skin tones and so on. But I finished it and I'm happy. So that was one project done and dusted. Yay. And right now it's folded up here. But as I said, I got it blocked. And this, my friends, turned out so freaking gorgeous blocked. My goodness. And the size of this, the sheer size of after blocking it, it's about 2.10 meters wide, about 1 meter tall, and like 140 from the tip to tip if you take the end to the center tip. So it is a very nice sized shawl, and I am so pleased with the finished look of this. Definitely. As I was right, the blocking of this shawl would make the big difference of really like making the texture of it and the stitching pop out. And that is what you're seeing here. It is difficult to show you this in full show view. So what I am gonna do is, hopefully if everything works, insert the shawl here in the video somewhere. Maybe I'm in the background, whatnot. But as you can see, it is so freaking gorgeous, this shawl. It's just stunning, basically. There's not much more to say. So I'm super happy with how it turned out, and it just shows that blocking really is worth it for the effect. Good. So what else have I been doing since? As I said, last weekend I blocked the PuErhTea Shawl. I also, I do believe that was also probably like last weekend, I finished that hat. Then I have been working a little bit on Fleur, but not enough, because right now I am, based on my scheduling, a little bit behind. But I knew there was a risk of getting behind on the warmer days. Today is actually a colder day, so maybe I have time to work a little bit on it this weekend without making too big promises. But the thing is, if it's too warm, it's just too warm to sit and work on this blanket. I need something smaller to work with, or something that's like not covering my whole body. And the size of Fleur now basically demands me to sit with it and stack it up on top of me to be able to work on it. So it is probably gonna be more of an autumn project, but on the colder days, if I can get a few a bit of work done, I will try definitely to do so. My goal is still to have another color change, in the sense of not color change, but a skein of yarn change here in July, which is the cream, because as you can see, the cream is almost finished. I have a new caked up cream of this Stylecraft Special DK. So this is how they look when I begin. So, you know, I'm optimistic that I can finish cream in July. Currently working with the Emperor, which is this dark purple. And as I said, it's the Stylecraft Special DK. So it's 100% premium acrylic. It's 100 grams skein that I cake up. So this is a full cake or skein that cakes up. It is so 3.5 ounces, 200 grams, or 295 meters, about 322 yards is what I have in here. So like a classic DK weight or 3-weight yarn. I can't move these so far around because it's still attached to the work. What I do need to get done is I do need to weave in the ends of the plum. I do have a little bit of left, but I first, with this specific project, weave in the ends a couple of rounds later, because then I am sure there is no mistakes. I don't need to do any frogging, because if I weave in my ends, we do know from experience, or at least I know from experience, that if I weave in the ends before I've checked if there's any mistakes, there's usually a mistake, and I get to frog it, and it's basically unfroggable, because I don't know how I weave in ends, but I do it very well. They don't come undone. So yeah, that is probably the short version of it. So that is pretty much the look here. What I did do since last time is I finished all the round of Emperor. So I finished the full round of 91, and I'm about to start on round 92, which I have seen is a lot of single crochets, because there will be like a lot of preparing, I think, for some solid coloring by the look of the pattern. We still have a few rows to go. 129 is the full amount, but already this is definitely, like, you know, I can't even have it here on the screen. This is the size currently of this blanket, and as therefore you can figure out it is it's warm to work with. But I'm gonna crunch on. As I said, I really plan to at least get this one changed up here in July. July is still early, but July is also coming with vacation for me. I am heading to Denmark, where I will be with my family for a couple of days. We are driving there, but it's not a project I'm gonna bring with me there. It's just not a very practical travel project. So I will have some other travel projects to bring with me when I get there. I do believe we totally forgot to mention, I do have tea today. My favorite mug of tea today contains black tea with an infused fruit tea. So basically it's like a melon taste that's added to it. So it's nice and fresh. It's quite summery. And on that note, I actually also have a melon here in the house, which I'm gonna snack on this afternoon. Not bad. Nice tea, nice tea. So what else have I been doing? I've been finishing up projects, but I haven't started any new. And you've seen kind of like the finished project. Kind of the PuErhTea Shawl was finished before, but we didn't reach the blog. Now that was blog version, and I'm really happy I showed it to you guys. The next project that I started working on, because currently I only have 2 active whips going. Holy smokes. I need to get some started, my friends. And we are starting some. I do have some laying here we're talking about, and I have some, but they are first planned for starting for when I get home, and I'll explain a bit about that as well. This, my friends, is the first, I don't know, that 20 rounds or so, 20 rows of the GingerTea cowl. So this is turning into a cowl. We did the first starting row, so what I'm doing now is a repetition of these, which is quite a few rows. I think I've done the first 2, let's see, I need to do 12 repetitions, and I've done the first 2. So I still have a bit to go. It's about 160 some odd stitches across. And the idea is for the end that it will turn into this sort of cowl, which you will button. I'll need to make some buttons for it as well. I am working this up in the Hobbii Azalea yarn, which is a lovely hobby cake. You can see that it is slowly turning towards the darker blues here. And I'm currently working 2 strands light blue, 2 strands, should we call it medium blue. This is a cake. You can see we are definitely moving on to it. The Hobbii Azalea, let's see, I'm trying not to ruin it too much. It's 52% cotton and 48% acrylic. They have like 8, I believe, different colorways, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous yarn to work with. It's rather soft, so it is pleasant also to just to work with. It's made in India, designed in Denmark by Hobbii, of course. Classified as a 2 fine weight yarn. 200 grams in a cake like this, which is 7 ounces, to 800 meters or 874 yards. They recommend 3.5 to 4 millimeter crochet hook. I'm working it in a 3.5 millimeter hook. I do believe the pattern calls for either 3 or 3.5. I don't remember right now. But the GingerTea cowl is designed by Ines from Red Teapot Atelier. Spanish designer, absolutely gorgeous, intricate designs. Same designer that designed the PuErhTea Shawl. So I'm really looking forward as to how this is gonna end up. And this might be a project that I could bring with me on the road, because I don't think I will be finished with it before we leave for Denmark. And it would be a perfect project to bring with me because, you know, I have it in my project crate, right? And so far it's just straight back and forth. And I do apologize for the trucks driving by right now. And I will, yeah, no, it should be okay. But yeah, so I might probably bring this project with me to Denmark. That would be a logic choice, because then I can get moving still on the shawl. I may find something else as well to bring with me on that trip. That is yet undecided. Well, I will bring some else with me, but what that project will be, it's still a little bit undecided. That's what I wanted to say. I think I'm definitely gonna bring this one with me if I'm not finished before I leave, and I don't think I will be, based on my current scheduling. No, I won't be finished. So yeah, I'll bring the GingerTea cowl with me to Denmark on my trip. We are going by car. Normally I've been flying the last couple of times, but this time we're going by car. And my partner is coming with me, and we're gonna have a good time. And that is also why I'm friends. And next week, Friday, there will not be a yarn talk video because I'm on vacation and I'm gonna enjoy myself. Gonna be seeing my family, which is a great thing. I do believe everything is fine there. We will do an update on that later in this video. What I do have plans on starting is, and we talked about that already a couple of videos, is the Capelina bucket hat or summer hat by Drops Design. It is a 4 skein, should not take more than 4 skeins at least, summer hat, and it's made in the Drops Cotton Light, which is 50% cotton and 50% polyester. It's made in the EU and it's Ecotech certified, so tested for any harmful substances. It feels pretty nice for what is, and it calls for 4mm needles. Basically, we have it here, 4mm needles. It is 105 meters or 115 yards. I do believe it's upside down. I do apologize for that. 50 grams is 76 or 75 ounces. And yeah, 4mm needles, and there we have the yarn mixture. I have done a few projects in this yarn before, including a poncho, and I have 4 of these, and that is a project I could easily bring with me in the car. I just need to make sure that I do have the pattern downloaded in the event that there will be a moment of poor reception. Trust me, if you haven't traveled in Germany, you cannot be sure there is any 4 or 5G network connection on the highway. Sometimes you get into an area and there's like no connection, or it's down to E, which I'm not really sure what refers to, but it's like the first version of the mobile Wi-Fi ever. And that is the slowest ever. And the thought of trying to download something on E will be not fun. So I'll make sure I'll have a PDF file with me on the go, on the phone, probably. So that is the plan. This, by the way, is the colorway 8, and it's named Ice Blue, and I think it's a gorgeous blue. I think it would be really nice for a summer hat. So that is the goal. Then what we also talked about last time is that I am gonna start a new knit project. I'm going to knit a beanie where I will hold it with 3 strands together. I've decided this beanie, I will start on that when I get home from my vacation. And the reason for this is it's not a good project to bring with me on vacation, because purely it's 3 skeins I need to keep track of. And I thought that my project crates would be perfect for them, but the skeins is actually a little bit too big. So I had to stack them. I caked them up as I wanted to. The problem is basically that because I can't have them next to one another yet, I'm probably gonna throw them on a yarn spindle and do the first few rows until like it's small enough to probably put in the crate. And then it's somewhat easier to transport around, but it sounds like this is gonna be a hat due to the double stranding that I will have to do here at home, which is fine. I'm gonna be fine about that. I am aiming for the 8mm needles, so it's gonna be a bulkier, chunkier hat, because obviously it is 3 yarns that we are gonna hold together. These are probably somewhere between a 2 and 3 weight yarns, so they're not super thick. So it's a thin 3 or thick 2, I would say. It depends, like if you pull the strings a bit, definitely. They are the super soft or Avies, depending on what store we are buying them from. And first I just had the brown and the variegated brown, and I added the white by purchasing a skein of that last month, with the intention of making this bulky hat. It's just gonna be a straight plate forward rip knit beanie, or knit purl. That is the thought of this. And we're gonna see how that ends. It is 80% acrylic yarn and 20% polyamide. It is it is 1.75 ounce skeins. So there's like close to 5 ounces here, 5.25 ounces or something like that. It is 200 meters, so 220-ish yards, approximately, a bit less maybe, per cake. And yeah, we're gonna see how far we get. I'm gonna work it up when I get home, and maybe that means that this hat will be done in July, if it goes smooth and nice as expected. Things doesn't always go as expected, is my experience. So yeah, that is the plans for now. And I am probably gonna find some extra yarns. I have some plans for some Mosaic pot holders that I think could be absolutely gorgeous. So that is some plans that I am going to try to work out as well. And it could be that I bring those yarns with me as well to Denmark. Most of my times in Denmark will be time with my family. But since it is a 9 hours drive, it is a really good drive to get some crocheting done. And obviously I will be driving some of the time, but some of the time I'm also just gonna be the co-driver, keeping my partner with company, and I can easily crochet on the side when I do that. So that's good. As I said, we're going to Denmark for being some days with the family and doing a few fun things, hopefully. My mom right now is doing pretty okay given the situation. She had some blood works done this week, and they judged that it would be wise that she got an extra sack of blood. So she had a bag of blood added yesterday. Tuesday she will undergo another round of chemotherapy. We're getting closer towards the end, but we're still not there. And hopefully Tuesday we will also have the final results for the halfway through PET scan. Actually, we are a little bit puzzled why we haven't heard the results yet, because she had the PET scan last week. And we kind of had hoped we would have heard something at least this week, but not yet. But I can imagine the doctors say that they want to discuss the findings with her in person rather than calling or typing it into this online portal where you can see your everything, basically. That's related to healthcare. As soon as I know more, I will let you guys know. But generally, if I look back the past month and a half, she is progressing in the sense of how she feels. So she feels better, even though that she does get a really bad knockback every 2 weeks when she gets her chemo treatments. But there is definitely positive hopes for the ongoing, but we don't know yet, so it's just difficult to say anything else. But if I really compare it to how she were 2.5 months ago, I have a lot more hope for her now. I'm a lot more optimistic. And I can also feel on her when I talk with her, there is more energy and a more presence from her, which is a good sign, I believe. So thank you everybody for your prayers. I know that you have been following the story for a bit, and so far we are making good progress on the treatment of her Hodgkin's lymphoma. So please keep your minds and send a little extra prayer. I'm sure it's helpful. That was pretty much it for this time around. As I said, next week I will not be around with a yarn talk video because I will be enjoying my vacation. If I'm good, I'm trying to get that Hobbii visit up from June. I'm still working on the editing, and there is quite a bit of editing to do. No secret, but stay tuned. Something might come up next week. I'm gonna say from out here, take care and happy crafting. Until see you again, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Bye.